Hey guys, welcome to episode 17 of Ask the Agent. We've got Kim Landry, one of our power listers, here with us today. Kim, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to kind of just talk listing presentations. And most importantly, I want to talk about the whole process, right? So we're going to talk some pre-listing stuff, actual listing presentation, and then what you can do post-listing to try and secure as many listings as you can, right? So we're going to start with some pre-listing stuff. I like to send out a packet. I know you kind of do like a drop-off, right? So
Yeah.
you want to talk about a couple of things that if you're going to drop a packet that you're going to put in there?
Yeah, I put information about myself. I like to have a resume.
Okay.
And I also like to have testimonials in there.
From some of your past clients and stuff?
Yeah, from my past clients, so that they can feel comfortable with me. And I like to also include a little bit about our company, Revithis, and,
Yep.
and what we have to offer. Just a little snippet so they have a little
Sure.
of an idea of what we are about.
Couple other things that I've seen some agents do is a box of cookies, so everybody's going to like sweets, right?
Yeah.
If you want to go digital, you could do maybe a link to your reviews on Zillow. You can do a sales map, which is really, really cool, where you take like a Google map and put little dots. Everybody knows what those Google maps look like. And put a little dot for every house that you've sold, either in their neighborhood, in the town. You could do a prepping staging guide. I've seen some people have some success with that. Or maybe you're even going to schedule an appointment to bring a contractor out to the property, talk about some repairs and stuff like that.
Right.
And any other unique selling propositions that you might have that are unique to you or your marketplace.
Right.
Right.
I like to include stats also
Yep.
for myself.
Okay,
Yeah.
so stats about, how quick you sell them, how fast, or how much you sell them for, et cetera.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you're somebody that's out there and you're like, my stats stink, just use your office stats
Yeah,
or your
exactly.
company stats to get yourself off the ground. Okay? All right, so we've prepped a client, we've got our appointment. Talk us through, what you're doing on day of, when you either right before or when you get to that house.
So, right before, I've got my comps, so
Yep.
I'll gather a bunch of comparable properties that I feel are going to be within that range. So I'll bring some that are a little bit lower, some a little bit higher, some where I think it's gonna fall at. Obviously I haven't seen the house, so I've gotta just kind of take a guesstimate, but I just wanna be prepared when I go in there.
Sure.
So that I can hopefully just nail them down in that one appointment.
Yep.
Okay.
Walk in the door, first thing you're doing.
Smiling, shaking their hand, complimenting them.
Okay.
Yep. And what I like to do is sit down first. Go sit down at the couch, sit down at the kitchen table,
Sure.
and start asking them questions. So I want to know, what are they looking for? So I'd like to try to start to build that rapport with them.
Yeah, I know. I've been on some listing presentations where that conversation might go on for 30 to 45 minutes. We haven't even started to talk about the property.
Absolutely.
You might get talking into, you like the same type of movies or books or
Exactly.
sports teams, etc.
Right.
So
and that's something that I do throughout the whole time that I'm there with them too.
Trying to do
is
that
just
stuff.
trying to find common ground, build that rapport,
okay,
so that they feel comfortable with me.
okay,
And I think it's really important that a lot of people don't do is we're all programmed to sell, is to be asking questions and to be listening.
sure.
And even taking notes when they're telling you, what they're looking for. So we
Yeah.
really need to listen to what they're.
Yeah,
Their
even if you're
needs
not going to use those notes, just the fact that you're writing them down makes it look like you're paying attention
that
to
you
what they're
care.
saying.
Yeah.
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 So,
It's all building trust.
at what point are you asking them to kind of take you and walk around the house and stuff like that?
So after we've talked and I know, what they're looking to do, where they're looking to go, what they're looking for in a realtor, then at that point I'll say, why don't you, take me around, show me around your house. And I'll take either notes or pictures, just depending on
Property.
yeah.
Anything
property.
specific that you're looking for during that home tour?
I definitely look for things that are gonna be red flags for potential buyers, so I'll talk about those things and make my recommendations. And then that's another opportunity for me to talk about what we have to offer as far as what I have to offer as resources to
Sure.
help. If there's, stains on the ceiling, we need to get those taken care of. And
Good.
I just have that whole, book of resources and handyman and all that can help.
Help them.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
that's definitely part of the process, not just coming up with the marketing and the
Right.
pricing, and it's got to be the whole package.
Right.
We are a real estate resource for these people.
And people are overwhelmed with those things.
Very
too.
overwhelmed.
So it's, yeah.
Okay, so you've walked through the property. You're going to sit down now and start talk marketing, pricing once you've got a good feel.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sit down and I'll go over the comparable properties and just to ask them, you know, I kind of tend to try to get a gauge of where they're thinking they'd like to be price-wise.
Do you come out and just ask them flat out?
Yeah, I do. So, you know, where are you thinking your house should be priced at? Because everybody has a sense. A lot of people have looked at the estimates and, you know, or they just go based on their assessment too.
Sure.
So there's, you know, a big misconception there too.
So don't be afraid to ask them, what did you want to get for it?
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
And if they turn around and say,
Yeah.
well, you're the professional, you tell me,
Yeah,
then how are you going to handle that?
and then I just start going through
Sure.
the comps.
Okay.
Yeah? And I show them, you know, where I think they should be at, and you know, get their feedback.
Okay. You know, one thing when we glossed over that I like to do when we're sitting down having that conversation early on is ask them what they love about the house and what they hate
Yes.
about the house.
I
right?
asked that in the beginning. Yeah.
So when you do those
Yeah.
two things, you might come up with a couple of positives that you didn't realize,
Exactly.
and then a couple of negatives that when we're talking pricing, you can almost bring back up again. Remember how you told me it gets really busy at night? Well,
Right.
that's gonna hurt us on the pricing, right? And that was their information, not yours. So you're not talking about bad about the house. You asked them, was there anything you'd change about this house if you had to do it over again? So now they've talked negatively about the house and pulled it down. So
Exactly.
on the marketing side, personally, I like to do it as follows. When we're talking, I try and break it down into two pieces. I'm going to do my marketing session first, and then I'm going to go into pricing and pricing strategy. On the marketing side, I like to just kind of break it down into three phases of marketing, and trying to explain to that seller how the marketing has really evolved over the recent years. It was pretty much always the very traditional stuff, which is put a sign in the ground, put it in the MLS, do an open house.
Right.
And I think a lot of agents get stuck with those three things. And so I'll say that our marketing has evolved to both digital and social. So in digital, meaning we do a really good job of making it look good on the Zillows, the Trulias, the Realtors. Not just posting it on there,
That's right.
but making it actually look really good. And that includes professional photography, professional videography, professional writers, because today's seller, right, they need to get every possible person in the house, and it's harder to do.
Right.
A decade ago, people would look at, they'd come to you and say, hey, I want to go look at these 12 properties. You look at them all and pick one or two to write an offer on. And today, they might look at all 12 online and maybe they want to go see two.
Right.
So I'm talking to my seller, I'm trying to explain that we've got to look really good online in order to get people in the door. Because if we don't even look good online, even if it's priced well, sometimes you're not going to
Right,
get
yeah,
people out.
it's all about that first impression,
Yep.
and it's very important. And that's one of the things going through and helping people with staging or tell them to hire a stager.
Yep.
Because the internet has changed everything.
Yes.
You know, when I first started in 1994, we had books, there was no,
Right,
there's no
right.
internet. So, I mean, everything has changed. So it's something that we have to educate them
Sure.
and teach them as to how things have changed. And
Pricing strategy, you want to kind of go
Yeah.
through the three options and what your recommendations typically are and
yeah, so pricing, I spend a lot of time on pricing because it really is crucial, and I explain to them that the benefits of being priced aggressively. So I'll show them you've got, we can go the old school way of putting it on the market where you have a little bit of wiggle room, or we can price it where I think, it'll fall within, $5,000 or so, or we can go a little bit below and be aggressive where I would get you multiple offers. And I'm just then explaining to them all the benefits that will then just cascade if I can get the multiple offers, and that you can't underprice a house right now. It's virtually impossible.
Yeah, I think a lot of people love let's leave ourselves some wiggle room. And the problem with that is, in today's market, and everybody's market's different, but in most markets today, if you're overpriced and you're on the market for 14 to 21 days, the buyer's going, what is wrong with this house?
Yeah.
Your old news. And now, when that offer finally trickles in, if you drop your price and drop your price and drop your price, that offer finally trickles in, there's zero leverage.
Right.
Because the seller says to you, well, get them up on their price, and you go back to the buyer, and the buyer knows they're the only offer, the only game in town.
Exactly.
if you're priced aggressive and a couple offers come in, it's very easy to go back to that buyer and say, or the buyer's agent and say, hey, look, appreciate the offer, but we got 2 other people that are interested and they know you're not blowing smoke.
Right.
You can't do that at day 40, 60, 90.
Exactly. And you have all the leverage
Sure.
in the beginning when it's that first few days of a listing. And that's why I explain to my sellers is that you want all the leverage, and that gives you leverage when you're in a position to be able to choose from multiple offers, and you can choose the ones with the best terms. It's not
Yeah.
always just about the price.
There you go.
And I really explain that, and then you've got a backup offer. So again, it's just about perfect positioning and giving the seller, all that leverage to be able to make decisions.
Sure.
And not be just stuck with one offer.
Let's talk about going for the close, right? So you've talked about your marketing, you've got all the pricing down, maybe you guys have even agreed on how you're gonna price it. How are you going in for, if you're trying to get it signed right there, you say, hey, I'll come back, talk to me through that process.
No, definitely, I'll try to get it signed right then and there, and, just I'll kind of take out the paperwork and, just kind of, so let's, you want to get started, let's get started with this, and then just kind of take cues from them, but.
So if they give you, hey, we got another agent to meet with, or we
Yeah,
really
then
want to think about it, you're gonna press a little bit more.
Right, and say why, for what reason are you not comfortable, just moving forward with me today,
Yeah.
so that you can handle those objections.
Yeah, I think that's key. I think it's not just, we all want to think it over. Why do you want to think it over?
Right.
Let's get a
Exactly.
specific reason.
Right.
And you might have said something in your presentation that you didn't even realize.
That's
or
right,
not
that they
covered something.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So ask those specific questions. That's really good. Anything you're doing post-closing, post-listing presentation, let's say you don't get it, or even if you do get it, what kind of stuff do you do post-meeting with them?
I'll send them a note card
Okay.
and thanking them for their time, or even if, they've listed with me. So no matter what happens, I'm always sending a
Something
note
out.
card and just saying thank you.
Yep. I know there's some agents out there that might shoot a text message off, maybe you shoot a
Right.
quick little video, hey,
Yep.
thanks for, giving me the opportunity.
Exactly.
Awesome. Guys, I hope you learned a little something today on pre, during, and post-listing presentation. If you've got some suggestions on things we could do, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And for you sellers out there, now hopefully you know what to look for in a good agent. Kim, thanks so much for being
All right.
on.
Thanks, Steve.
Awesome. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be live Thursday at 3 o'clock.
Yes, I can be. Whoa, boom, boom, man, zippity zoom. Love is sweet, love is grand, works one. Beep up and zippity hop. I'll never be a millionaire. Whoa, boom, boom, man, zippity zoom. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. I don't care.